Hello, this is Dan Lacine. I'm going to share some photos I have back from 1971 when we had a Jesus Free Festival at Elmhurst College. At that time, Campus Crusade was the group on campus that was the Christian influence. We set up the bandshell in front of Hammersmith Chapel. This one is for Jesus, is what the banner read when everybody was finished creating it. Campus Crusade for Christ had, of course, it's now known as Cru, right? They had two leaders who lived right near the campus. I believe they lived in the university apartments, and that's where we met each week for Bible study, prayer, sharing, worship, fun games, just getting to be and really dinner. We had dinner, yeah, we had food. Almost forgot that. We would have different outreaches. We had a magician come once to Hammersmith Chapel and attracted people who weren't not necessarily believers. And then at the end, he would, of his magic tricks, he would give his testimony and invite people to have that personal relationship with Jesus. This group here on stage reminds me of the group Chicago, the band Chicago, who was a brass rock group in the 70s, and they went on. I think they're still performing even after this many years. They have 35 albums. But anyway, I recorded a promo that I put on the local, actually the Elmhurst College radio station, WRSE. So the promo is a promotion or an ad. And I used one of their songs, and it just so happened the song I used was the very first one that I used to launch the festival that day. In this picture in the center, you can see our two Campus Crusade leaders. The gentleman in the blue there is Clark, and to the left is his wife Anne. They're still running well and ministering in Germany. Two of the gals in this photo on the right are Brenda, don't remember her last name off the top of my head, and Connie. They were in our Christian group, or Maranatha. Notice their orange wristbands or armbands there. I believe that was to identify all those who are in charge or leaders of the outreach here, and you could probably go to one of them, and if you had a question or wanted to know more, probably they were also looking around for people who needed help. We advertised free food, free fun, and free music. So to get the free food, we contacted the local churches in the area and asked them to donate sandwiches. I recall we had over 10,000 sandwiches donated. So each church had several hundred. I think we had quite a few leftovers. We probably did not have 10,000 people here, but we had a pretty good crowd coming and going during the day. They came from all the surrounding states and even farther. I'm not sure how they got it other than word of mouth. No internet in those days. Potentially some of the local stations had PSAs, public service announcements, community calendar type of thing that we asked them to advertise. I'm pretty sure we put that in the local newspaper. That stage there, each one of us, we had a handful of us that were asked to give our testimonies. We had to go up on stage and give a couple-minute testimony of who we were and what Jesus meant to us. I remember Dinkmeyer Hall, some people peeking out there and kind of afraid to come down. I think most of the people in the mall there were not Elmhurst College students, but came from the surrounding area and were Christians. You always people end up in a place they don't realize, and God grabs a hold of them, and I'm sure there were several of those testimonies we could have shared. So keep believing, keep going on. Don't be afraid to share your faith in a way that matches the language of the people you're talking to. Don't sound too weird using your Christianese, but listen to them and go for it as God leads you. One of these days we're going to see stadiums filled with crowds of people wanting to know more, to become believers, to know that person, that Jesus that makes a difference in your life, that's life-changing.